Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you see me wearing a hood because that is an indication that we still don't have power in Austin, Texas. I know that the weather's improving. It's in the 30s today. And the temperature in my house is now a degree or two above refrigerator temperature. I would only hope it would get warmer than that. But we've been hearing reports of how their first priority is to give power back to the people who have been missing it the longest. And news reports would say, well, what about these people that have been in this area that haven't had power for 4 days? And we'd look at each other and like, well, it's been 5 for us. Hello? Right? Come on, I hear him. I hear
exactly.
him like, although we might have sworn at the same time when we originally said it.
But then again, it was lakefront property they were concerned about, and we're not on lakefront property.
Because, you know, only the rich appropriate people in hill country, or I don't know what these things
lakefront,
are.
the lakefront property, yeah.
Because there's a lake near here.
Which is mostly vacation homes.
Which is, you know, unlike Chicago, which is, you know, having a lake really close to it anyway, which is why it's so humid there and why it is so semi-arid here. But joy, yes, it's still going on. I'm happy. We haven't had power for 5 days now. We didn't have water for 2. It started coming back. But they tell us now that it has to be boiled for 2 hours before using it for consumption purposes, which is great when you don't have any power to boil water with. But, you know, that's neither here for there nor there for anybody that like is in politics that needs to explain things to us. So I thought in my aggravation on this day in the normal, I think, daily count of what's been going on here in the lovely and starting to become temperate, I think it's 39 degrees now? Is that what it said? 39?
No, 43. 43.
43, yeah. Snow's melting away. I don't have icicles over my license plate anymore, which was kind of cool. And if I can get power back, I might change my Facebook cover picture to share that with you guys. But because it's always important to have a license plate that says CHI Poet, Chicago Poet, and when you're in Austin, Texas. But anywho, I thought I'd share with you probably a poem or two that might reflect how I feel by being stuck in the cold and wearing layer upon layer upon layer just to be able to stay warm inside of my own home. So I was going to share with you a couple poems from the cc&d September to December 2020 issue collection anthology book from Scars Publications called Roll the Bones. Roll the Bones. I believe I was talking about it briefly yesterday and saying, yes, I know that Roll the Bones has nothing to do with skulls, but when I saw this video still from, I believe it was Long Way Round, one of the movie short story series on a cable television show with Ewan McGregor and his friend Charlie, close long-time friends. They decided to ride motorcycles around the world if they could. And one of the things was to go a long way around. They stopped at a Rwandan genocide memorial. And there were all of these accounts of all of these skulls of people who had been killed, and a lot of people can look at this and say, that's really awful that they like just leave that stuff up. Why don't you respect these people? But I believe they thought that this would be a better way to respect the people, to let people know of what actually happened. And that's why I thought it was cool to be able to have not only a bunch of skulls on the cover, but one that happened to actually have a sword going into, a big spear going into his skull, which, you know, seemed like a perfect descriptor for cc&d magazine. I don't know why. But I thought I'd share with you 2 poems from this collection in my ongoing search to try to keep poetry and creativity out to the masses as much as I can, especially in these times of not only coronavirus, COVID-19, but also Arctic snowstorms that leave a good portion of Texas without power or with water hazards. And when the water is so much less clean here than it is in Chicago, I hear Chicagoans talk about how awful the water is, and they're crazy. you people are crazy. I would come back and I'm like, oh yay, let me drink this water, because I don't drink Austin, Texas water. It comes through a filter in a refrigerator, and then we put it through a Brita filter 3 times just so that it might not taste so chlorinated. And it would taste good, so we could have it with our tea or coffee, or added with, a flavoring for water or something. So it's at the point now where they're like, no, we don't know what contaminants are in it after all this stuff has gone on. You should just boil it for a while. It's like, oh, pleasant. Looking forward to that. It's nice, using buckets of water to flush toilets, and like Tressa was saying, who was at the Gallery Cabaret, is like, well, enjoy yourself sitting on the toilet in the morning, because yes, it is fun. It's been doing that for a long time now. But we're getting okay. And in fact, when I put up the first posts, people were like, make sure you drip your water. And John was like, oh yeah, we should drip our water. And we were saving some of that water before it was going to be really bad. Good thing we did, so we had some water. But then everybody in Austin was saying, no, pipes have broken. Don't do that to the water, because we don't have enough water, and then there's a water shortage, and then the water just is cut off altogether. And now we have a dripping small amount of water, but no, we won't drink it. Trust me. I wouldn't have in the first place, but I'm going to share with you 2 poems that are sharing a page in this book, Roll the Bones, Roll the Bones. And this first one is called Killing Is Our Only Option. And it was written on the anniversary of the September 3rd, 1941 Holocaust date, where Karl Pritsch at the Auschwitz concentration camp experimented with Zyklon B for gassing people in the Soviet POWs. And that was the beginning of the use of Zyklon B. And in honor of that, this was written. And this is called Killing Is Our Only Option. Hey, is that more stats about what's going on in Austin?
No, that was a Janet Kuypers thing.
Oh, no. Oh, you... Oh, he's playing this. Oh, no. Don't replay this stuff with this live feed, please. Thank you, though. This piece is called... Please, thank you.
What the fuck? Sorry.
This piece...
popping back up.
This piece is called Killing Is Our Only Option. When killing is our only option, and when those are our orders, we need to find a humane way to execute these deaths, if only for the well-being of those who have to do all this killing. Killing can get tough after a while, so how can we help? Putting a gun to head after head can get taxing for our poor soldiers. Maybe carbon monoxide from a car could do it en masse. But wait, we have to clean clothes at these camps to disinfect them of all the disease these filthy prisoners carry. The disinfectant makes toxic fumes. Give me a minute, because I just may have found a way to make this war so much easier on our soldiers. I will give you guys one other shorter one for you guys, and of course it's going to be on a somber tone, because after 5 days of not having any power, I can't turn on a computer, I can't do an ounce of any of my work, I can't read submissions for either magazine I run, for cc&d magazine or for Down to the Dirt magazine. I'm at a complete standstill. I was designing a book for my friend Ken, and I can't do a thing for that. I can't read the 60 plus submissions I had before at the beginning of this week to process them, because I don't have the power to even look at them off of a thumb drive, which might be a third of what my submissions were in the first place. This is fun. So yeah, I'm going to give you these fun poems. So I'm going to share this one more with you that was written on the anniversary. Also the 3rd of September. It was written on the anniversary of the September 3rd, 1944 date that diarist Anne Frank and her family are placed on the last 3-day train from the Restbrook transit camp to the Auschwitz concentration camp. This is the day that they were put on that train. So, a very short one in honor of that piece. And it is titled No One Will Forget. I didn't know any better. I was just doing what everyone told me to do. I didn't know that people were taking me away. I didn't know I'd have to hide to survive. I know I played hide and seek games. Now I must hide for my life. And now all I can do is sit here, write, to remember, so that no one will ever forget. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, those are your 2 poems that reflect my mood today. For being this many days without power, probably the longest of anyone in the Austin area, I believe. Joy of joys. They turned off our power thinking that they could rotate them and have a power outage and then put them back, and then a power outage for somebody else and put them back, but they started putting them out and they wouldn't allow them to reinstate power for anyone. So, lucky us, we get to have no power for the longest amount of time. But I was relatively pleased that yesterday we were able to get an internet connection over our phones, which we can charge when we're plugged into a car because it's actually warm there. And when I was able to do that, I said, wait a minute, we can hook up to our TV and we can watch the tail end of the Australian Open for tennis, because that's going on right now and I have no power and I can't even see it, and that's my sport of choice when everybody likes football and baseball and basketball and lacrosse and squash and and football and soccer, because there's a soccer team here now in Austin that everyone's getting so hyped for, even though they've never had a soccer team, and I don't think half the people know the game of soccer well to begin with. But that's okay. They need to have a sport to have, yay, team spirit. I get it, but tennis has been my thing, and so it was good to be able to see the semifinals running for the men, and I now know who the women are. Tomorrow at 4 p.m. Central Standard Time will be the finals for women. Jen Brady, an American, against Osaka from representing Japan. Even though she's lived in the United States, she's representing for her mother, I believe, and not from different countries. Anywho, and then it will be Medvedev against Djokovic, Central Standard Time on Sunday, I believe at 11 a.m. So, sorry, I won't be doing any live feeds then because I'll be watching some tennis. So I hope everyone remains safe. I hope everyone is warmer than we are right now because you probably have power. And I hope everyone stays creatively inclined. Even though it gets tough for me, especially when I'm so tired of not having energy or being able to use a shower or anything. When things get tough, keep thinking that you're not alone and things will get better. It might not feel like it now, but they will get better, and that you are loved. So I want each and every one of you to hang in there. Stay strong, as I said, stay creatively inclined, and know that we'll get through this, and I will talk to each and every one of you very, very soon. Thank you very, very much. If anybody wanted to know anything about Scars Publications, easiest way to do it online, since, I don't know if I could respond to an email, is to go to Scars, SCARS.TV, like it screams on the back cover of this book. For Scars Publications, you can know about either magazine. You can contact me through that. And keep strong, and I will talk to each and one of you very, very soon. Thank you very, very much.